Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this big blue ball that we float around on our beautiful spaceship that we call Earth, that takes us through the cosmos and allows us to experience the juiciness and the expansion of our life that we call our life. So, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me this morning. My name is Mary June Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and astrologer. Can't even speak this morning. So, welcome, and I'm so happy that everybody's joining me this morning. Crazy, we got a lot of transits that are coming in, and it's like almost where there is a little bit of heaviness in the air, I think, that I'm feeling. And one of the things is this, where it's like, and I see on the either side, it's, we're walking along our path, right? And on either side, there is this plasmic energy, and it's like just sort of like these balls of energy all around us. And we're going upon our path, and we have an idea of where we want to go, yet it's like almost where not a real, like it is a wall, but it's kind of, I guess, plasmic comes in front, and then but as you walk through it, it's you're dealing with a lot of your own personal stuff, but other people's stuff is coming in, and other people are trying to figure their stuff out, or they're wanting you to figure their stuff out, but yet you're not. You're just wanting to walk your path. You're just wanting to walk and do what you know for you. It's like it's almost like a me selfish day, where it's like, I just want to carry on my life. I just want to do the things I want to do. Yet certain energies show up, or certain obstacles show up that we have to deal with, or we have to contend with. And good morning, Alex. And sometimes when we have to contend with these certain energies or blockages that come in, it's frustrating. It's where we're feeling overwhelmed with it, or we get a burst of anger with it. And that's for this energy, for this week. As I said, it could be, we can go all the way up to like 200-300 with the frustration energies. This is where, when the transits are coming in, and we're feeling these transits that are coming forward, and they're sending these curveballs, or these energy fields for us to walk through. It really gets us that we really have to take a look at ourselves internally on what is our priority. Where do I lose my shit or don't lose my shit? Is this worth my energy to lose my shit, or should I just step back into and really spend some time on my own spiritual teachings and my spiritual, my own self-discovery? Hence the Hermit card came on as our overall spiritual guidance card today. And it is finding that balance within our world, because the conflict is there. The conflict is coming out. And I've been reading, there's a couple books I've been reading a lot of books. But one of the books that, if you haven't got it, I think they still have some left down at Blessed Circle. So the Moon Sign book. Now, it's a great read. I've been reading the financial one with the transits that are coming in financially, which is very interesting to look at. A lot of if you're interested in doing any financing or anything along that line, there is some really great books on working with astrology and your finances, and what transits work, and what transits, are one maybe to sell, or what have you. So this touches on it just a little bit, goes through the first, second, third, and fourth quarter. And and the energies that are going to be coming through or coming around us for this year financially. And the one thing about astrology, there's always history that goes with astrology. So we find when certain transits come up, this is usually what happens. So we have a Mercury, or not a Mercury, we have a Venus-Pluto transit coming up. And this Venus transit that's coming up with Pluto has a lot to do with money and structures. And it can be where it gives Venus this enormous power to say, yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to be illuminating our light. Here comes this energy of this goddess hitting Pluto. And this is where it's not going to be the first time she's going to be in transit with him, but she's going to do this twice this year. And the second time she comes in and she does a transit, she's going to be going retrograde in Capricorn at the end of the year on December 19th. So we have this energy of this Venus, and Venus wants to feel good. Like Venus, like her ruler, I mean, she rules Taurus and Libra. She likes money. She likes good stuff, sweetness of life. And there is a square with her and Eris. So in comes this goddess of reckoning, of, putting some energy onto Venus, as if to say, it's like the jealous bitch. The jealous bitch comes in because she doesn't like what you're wearing, or you got the real cool black high heels with a red patent sole on it, and it's just so hot, and you're just feeling so sexy, and you're just all together. And in comes the next one. In comes Eris, the goddess of discord. It's like, why are you wearing that? Like, and of course, Venus could either fall into it and fall into that and say, what do you mean? And come out with her fighting. And of course, with Pluto there, he's like, whoa, girls are fighting. I'm Hades. I'll take this. So this energy can come in and really hit us. And hit us with a little bit of discord, because our moon, our lovely moon, is sitting there all alone in Cancer. And of course, he's home. She's home, but she's not really she's going to be void of course in the middle of a sign. Oh my Lord. That means that we could be feeling like, I did on my TikTok, on my story, Reverend Gail had a TikTok of this. It's hilarious that you go upstairs and you're trying to find, your brain. You forgot what you were supposed to be doing, and you go up and there's your brain up there having a glass of wine and say, maybe it's toast, maybe it's a toaster. Go back downstairs and figure it out, and then come back and see me. We might be feeling that way. It's like we have this angst of anxiety that's coming up, and we're trying to, go ahead and we have thoughts that we're going upon our path, and it's like, oh, yeah, isn't this fabulous? We're looking at our path. So we're walking along and we feel great and we feel grand, and we're doing our thing, and we're thinking that we're doing the betterment for others, and we're feeling really good about ourselves. And in comes this, whoa, what are you doing? Why are you wearing that? Why did you decide to do that? And you're just like, what? What do you mean? And of course, your internal core, which is the moon, is saying, it's emotional. It's Cancer. It's like, whoa. So you could just go up to from 0 to and take the blast off. That's where the energy is today. And it is where it's like, you have to come in and you have to take that time. And this is where it's like almost where I got, in comes the hand of God. The four, comes in and says, you know what, come on, let's go for a little timeout. But that's not what you want, right? You don't want this hand. You're just like, no, I don't want to take this. No, I don't want this. What do you mean I have to go for a timeout and reflect? And it's almost, with that conflicting energy with the Eris and Venus, can bring in some heavy-handed energy for us. Right? And it's really, we need to work with our flow, and we need to work with our breath. And we have to really watch that, because there are going to be things that are triggered, or you're going to be the observer of watching someone trigger. And sometimes, because there you got, you have the sun and Jupiter you know, and the Aquarius is very much the audience, and it's like, ooh, 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 what's going on over there? Hey, Jim, do you see that? And he goes, yeah, watch this, because it's that Sun Jupiter, which is a beautiful transit, which comes in and wants to illuminate and wants to give so much for us. Can say, okay, we can illuminate this, we can sit back and watch. But this is coming back in and saying, well, what do you want to illuminate personally? Because there's so much in the outside world that can trigger you, that can pull you down. Somebody's agenda doesn't work with your agenda. That's what happened to me this morning, where it's like, well, I had all of this to do, and we only have one vehicle. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, whatever. You get to the, whatever, I will figure, damn it, it's okay. And it's because I had my running around to do, right? But of course, my running around, and then of course the places aren't open till later on because of lockdown and whatever the hell else is going on. So this again, got to take those steps back. And this is going to take that step back and saying, you know what? Let me rethink this. Let me revise this within my own self. Because that's not where I want to go. That's not the story I want to do. So you call in your counsel, your guides, your angels. And even though the frustration could still be sort of gnawing there at your tummy and gnawing down there in your sacral and your solar plexus, this is where you do the breath work. You come in and you do the breath work. And you do the deep breaths in. You hold it and you release. Even if you have to count and you do a deep breath with 4 and you do 4 breaths in, hold 4, release for 4. That's going to get you out of this tornado that's coming in and all of this that's coming forward for you. So before you walk through it, you breathe. You take that time to breathe. It's so important to take time to breathe today. Because it is. There's a lot of energy that's coming up in Aquarius. And Aquarius can be very critical. You know, it's a very critical sign. Because it's the abstract sign. It is a sign that thinks outside the box. It is that sign that is the extraterrestrial that wants to be unique and different, right? But still be a part of several different cores, several different groups. And this is where it's like, because the thing is Aquarius is the audience. Leo is the performer. It's the sun that comes out. And maybe you're feeling like you want to be the performer. Maybe you're feeling like you want to be that. And the sun is in detriment because it wants to be the performer. It wants to go home. It's, you know, it shines in Leo. And the moon, who's home, is feeling very lonely because it wants to connect with others. Yet no one's coming over because it's in lockdown. So this is where we got to, you know, really reevaluate the energies that are around us, reevaluate our own soul, our own path. And because things can change on a dime with Uranus, energies can change. I was in California, they were in major lockdown and now they're not in lockdown. So it's like, all of a sudden, all that crap those people had to undergo in California and the people who lost their jobs and lost their businesses and all of this, now it's like almost coming in and saying, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean we're not in lockdown? What does that mean? You mean the virus is gone? And Wuhan, there's an asteroid called Wuhan, and it went into Pisces. So that's going to bring us some new information because we haven't really experienced this before, and he's in Pisces, and Pisces is that ether, that energy, you know, it's the 5th element that comes in and it has no boundaries. So, you know, things could, you know, really change dramatically And with Neptune being there, and of course with that Neptunian energy that's still squaring the nodes, can bring us in some kind of new and illusional energy. Like, for instance, this morning I heard that the strains from, where is it, England and South Africa have hit the Canadian shores, and it spreads 30% faster than the other virus, and you're just like, whoa. So that Wuhan can bring in some crazy new energy that we haven't experienced before. And the thing is names have power. So amazing that they named this asteroid Wuhan. And there's even an asteroid named Lucifer, and it is actually named after the god, or of the devil. It was actually they named it after Lucifer. And where it lands in charts and how it activates that energy of darkness within people or within your chart, where you have to really watch how you deal with the dark entities in your life, your shadow, right? And looking at how are you dealing with the shadows in your life. And right now with this, with this moon void off course, there is some where we want to connect. There is where we want to come together, yet feeling overwhelmed and isolated in many ways. And it might be coming to that culmination right now. So we have to take that time and honor ourselves. And if you need to reach out to people, you need to reach out for a reading, or you need to, call a 1-800 line, that's what you have to do. This is looking at your own well-being. And it is important to look at your own well-being and your own sovereignty of what is right for your health, your wealth and longevity. This is important. This is important. And as this day is unfolding and this week is unfolding, this is where we have this energy that comes in and says, this is a chance for us to really step into more of the boat we want to go down the river in. And that's what they just showed me. So it's almost like, you have these different, which boat do you want to go in to float down the river right now? Which boat do you find that's going to have what you are looking for, what you are needing at this time as we go forward through this transiting energy that's coming forth? And this book, it has some great information in here. And really, let's see what it has for today. I'm just pulling it up for today. January. So we have the 26th. It's my daughter's birthday. So Ralph Ellison, The Invisible Man. What and how much had I lost by trying to do only what was expected of me instead of what I myself had wished to do? Whoa, that's a perfect one for today. That is a perfect one today. So this is like, buy a new photo album for each of your children and organize your photos into a small record of each of their lives and give them the photo album for Christmas or Valentine's Day. Ooh, that's a beautiful, that's really nice. But this is where today, we're in Cancer energy till the 27th with the moon. And then we go on the 28th, we enter into Leo. And then on the 30th, we go into Virgo. And Mercury is putting the brakes on and is going to be going retrograde. And so we might think we have all the answers. We might think we know everything, very Aquarius. Yet with the Mercury going retrograde is going to give us a chance to reevaluate and maybe relearn or know something more. And that's, I think it's funny how things unfold for me, because where I'm taking more angel courses. You know, you think you know everything, but it's wonderful to get other people's perspective and learn something new when it comes to even something I teach. I love working with the angels, and I've, you know, worked with the angels of the week, and every planet has an angel. And but this is bringing in another level. And I'm going to be doing this class on 2 a.m. It's a live stream I have to be on 2 a.m. Sunday morning. So hence, this is a woman who wakes up at 5 a.m. So it's gonna give me a little bit of a rough thing, right? Exactly. And this is where it's like, yeah, you know, I had a chance to take this course, and the opportunity came to me, and I did it. And you know, hence some other people weren't too happy with me, but this is where sometimes, you know, maybe other people aren't happy with what the decisions are that you are making, but you know that there is something that it's going to give you in the long term. And it may benefit those that are around you, right? And those that are around you, you know, many times that I find in my own life that the decisions that I make, a lot of people don't like, especially my family, but they're decisions that I've had to make for me. And in the long term, it did benefit them. But I have to step into what's going to benefit my spiritual soul. And I have to respect that of their decisions they make for their spiritual soul on the journey they have to take in their life. And that can be fucked up. Because we might think, well, this is okay for me, but you can't do it. So you have to allow for the flow to go forward and backwards for all, right? Not just for you. So there could be people in your own life that are going to be making some decisions that you might find difficult. Hence, you know, with these transiting, because people are looking at opportunities that, you know what, this is going to be beneficial, but it's going to be beneficial for us in the long run. And it's going to be okay. And this, what we are doing, or what we are learning, this energy that's coming forth, is going to bring in a lot more of different abundance or prosperity in the long run, and take you into a deeper level. So that's where sometimes, you know, when that wall comes in, but it's not a real thick wall, it's more of a plasma wall that comes forth, and you have to go through it. You have to go, and you have to understand that, you know, I respect what you say, but that's not what I'm going to do. But this is going to be for the higher benefit for all, and for what I need to do for myself and my well-being for others in the long run. So, and that comes in with so many other energies that people may not like what you're going to do, but you have to step forward to do it. And this is, you know, there's going to be challenges that we're going to be put upon our road at this time for our own selves, that we feel, you know, as Ralph says here, Ellison, what and how much I had lost by trying to do only what was expected of me instead of what I myself had wished to do. And that doesn't mean going out and being an asshole or a fucking prick. That's not what it's saying. But there's things in our lives that we are wanting to do. And I know mothers who have traveled and who've done things with their children and hasn't stopped them, and haven't made that excuse because I have this and I have that, I can't do this, and have done exceptional things in their lives. So look at the excuses that you might be making. I know I've had a lot, and I still do. But this is a day with that moon void off course to really take an internal look at ourselves. And money is coming in as an issue for a lot of people. and money, because money struggles, or you're not, because of things, because of the lockdown, and because you might have lost your job, or the business might have closed and you've gotten laid off, and you're unable to get EI, and oh man, there's so much. But this is where, even with this financial issues that are going to be coming in, and a lot more are going to come forward for us this year, that we really have to come into our faith and come to our community, and we have to gather together in order to build something that is stronger. And we're gonna find that this year. This year is really going to be a year of coming together for one another, and coming together, especially when it comes to the financial in our life. And this Aquarius energy and this, Cancer energy. I mean, we're going to have 2 full moons in Aquarius and no full moons this year in Cancer. Interesting. We had 2 full moons last year in Cancer. So we have this energy that's coming in that was very emotional last year, of taking a deep look into our own well-being. And now in the Aquarius energy is really getting us to take a more abstract look of the energies that are coming in and around us. I wrote something about that somewhere in my little notebook. Let's do my unicorn notebook. Yeah, trying to understand something, trying to understand a lot of what's going on within our own life. And the thing is, with the 2 full moons being in Aquarius this year, this is going to bring us into some weird energies and energetically. So this is, these transiting in this energy is going to be, we're going to be feeling a little odd. We're going to be feeling a little weird. We're stepping into a lot of air energy, and we haven't stepped into air energy in thousands of years like this. So this is bringing in the change for us. This is bringing in new ways of thinking, new ways of creating. So even when it comes into the financials, because there's going to be some weird energy when it comes to our currency and how we do exchanges with our currency. So this is it's the transiting energy is getting us to begin now, beginning to get us to look into where we want to go now within our own selves, and how we want to step forward into some maybe new ways of looking at things, because Uranus brings in ideas and things that we never, ever, 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 ever have thought of before. It brings in energies that we never thought would be. So allowing yourself to take that time in meditation, take that time when it comes to new ideas and new thoughts, because there are things, or there is energies that are going to be coming in that are going to get us to change. And I'm just looking up where because it's amazing when you start, because following the moon and the days of the week and the energies of where the planets are and the planetary hours, it's very interesting when you start to discover that, and you start to utilize those energies during the day for doing things, or planning out activities. And when you start to utilize it, you'll find that, this was this hour was the hour to do it. Or, when somebody's discussing something with you, you might find, there's that resistance. Well, it was the Mars hour, or not it was the Mars hour, and Mars is very feisty and fighting, and he's frustrated. He's more frustrated right now than ever because he's in Taurus. So it's really interesting when we start to utilize it and work with the energies more. And as we work with the energies, we get to understand the flow. So when we're finding a resistance, we can take that breath, we can take that step back. This is what our ancestors understood, those who studied the stars. They understood that these transits and these energies that are coming in, that there was a time for us to take a step back and not push so hard. And there were times when, yeah, this is the time to go and sow and plant and do things. My husband was saying, you know, when his mom was in Trinidad, she would wake him up at early in the morning to go pick different herbs, because there were certain hours that you would pick different herbs, or you would plant certain plants at different hours of the day, or on different days. And they do that in Hawaii too. In Hawaii, they have different times for planting different, you know, certain herbs and different vegetables and things along that line, because there's a flow to that. And they find that that plant grows better at that hour when we plant the seed than if we plant it an hour later. And they did this. This is what, so they did this without a computer. So this is what our ancestors have written down and wrote about and worked with for so long. And now this is, you know, this is where, you know, now we've got beautiful books that we can utilize in order to work with this energy. And that's the same way when, you know, if we're working with the economic forecast and looking at business cycles, because we can tell with the way that different energies and what happened under these transits, things that went on. And so when you start to look at that and you start to work with all of this energy, it's amazing how you start to flow, and it gets you into your intuition, where you're like, oh, okay, this feels right, or this doesn't feel right, or, you know, yeah, it might be a time to really push out, but for me, that doesn't feel like the time to push out, you know? And it could be that whatever's hitting your chart at the time, whatever activating something at your time in your chart, you know, this is getting you into a flow of more of your biorhythms and listening to your biorhythms and how things flow. And yeah, there are people that have, you know, they have to have a structure. But when I look at those people who have to have real structures, they got a lot of earth in their sign. They got a lot of heaviness of earth where things have to be structured. And they may not have a lot of air, so they, you know, get frustrated very easy. So they have to work more with understanding their passion. They have to work with more understanding those feelings in order to not to be so rigid at times, you know? So there's a lot. I mean, this day is really opening up some really great opportunities for us, great opportunities for discovering our own selves on the directions that we want to go within our path and on our earth walk. So take those times today. You might find that you have a lot of energy, or you might find like you're dragging your ass and you want to go back to bed. Those are the extremes of the energy today. So honor this earth walk today. Honor the energies of this week. You know, we're building up to a full moon in Leo that wants to shine under the shadow of a Mercury retrograde. So we may not be getting all the information we want to shine. So just honor it. It's just an honoring of each day this week, you know. And we're in a couple months that are going to be quite dark. So until the spring equinox, where things are going to get a little bit lighter and we're going to start seeing freshness again. So just this is a time of transformation and change for us, and honoring this earth walk as we go through it. So there you go, guys. I want you to go and have a blessed day. Make sure you do a meditation today and do your prayers. Sound like my mother. Do your prayers, and, you know, allow yourself to open up. You know, the prayers are to open up our soul to our connection to that of the divine, to that of our God and our goddess and our angels and our unicorns. So have a blessed day, everybody. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. And definitely look this book up. I think she has some books left at Blessed Circle. So look at Blessed Circle YYC and take a look. And she might have, I think they're 50% off. I'm not sure, but there might be 50% off. This is a fabulous reference book to have in your library. It even has planting information and all kinds of other information in there also. Have a blessed one, everybody, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.